Bella Salon and Day Spa, located at 41 West Main Street in Northeast Pennsylvania, proudly supports Chautauqua Sunrise and its volunteers. More information at bellasalonanddayspa.net. Westfield Memorial Hospital provides high-quality health care to residents of Western New York, offering patients the most sophisticated medical advancements while keeping the ease and familiarity of a community hospital. Support for Chautauqua Sunrise has been provided by WRFA 107.9 FM, Jamestown's public radio station, streaming online 24/7 at WRFALP.com. Low power to the people. Funding is provided by a grant from New York State Senator Catherine M. Young, representing Western New York's 57th District with a local office in Olean. Chautauqua Sunrise is made possible by a grant from Fredonia Place, a continuing care retirement community providing dignity in a modern luxury environment. Meter's Restaurant, a family tradition for over 50 years in downtown Ripley, is a proud supporter of Chautauqua Sunrise. Meter's provides all-day dining, banquet services, and custom catering, specializing in pie. From the Access Channel 5 studios in Mayville, it's Chautauqua Sunrise. Chautauqua Sunrise is hosted by Doc Hamels and supported by the award-winning volunteers at Access Channel 5. Continuing the traditions of Senior Report, we are here to share local news, colorful interviews, and events of interest to everyone. Chautauqua Sunrise is broadcast live Saturday mornings each week, countywide, from 9 to 10 a.m. Join us by calling in live, emailing us, or checking out our social media. And now, from the Channel 5 studios, it's Chautauqua Sunrise.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Chautauqua Sunrise. I'm Doc Hamels, and as always, we've got an interesting show lined up for you. At least I think so, and I think you will too by the end. Well, what do we say about the weather? Wowza! It's like, I was looking at the weather report, like we all do on our iPhones or the weather report on TV, and we're trying to figure out, is it going to hit our town? Is it going to whatever? And I kept saying, it doesn't look that bad. It was about 9 o'clock, and it doesn't look too bad, 11 o'clock. So I went to bed, and I woke up the next morning. It's like, how is this possible that you could end up with what seemed like a couple feet of snow? Oh, my God, unbelievable. Well, it'll be gone by the middle of the next week or sooner, but that's the interesting part about it. But you know what? We didn't get the bomb cyclone, or we don't get hurricanes. The bomb cyclone, that's a new term they've been using lately for those nor'easters over near Massachusetts, and that, boy, they're getting hammered pretty good. Bomb cyclone. I thought that was a make-up word, but it's a real weather term. Anyways, I hope you're enjoying the sunny weather that we've got now. Yesterday turned out really crazy, didn't it? We started out with all the snow, piles of it, and then in the afternoon it was like absolutely gorgeous. I was sitting in our front room looking out and looking at the snow and the trees. They look kind of pretty. I mean, after a while, it looked the same old thing, a lot of snow on the trees. But then an eagle flew right by the house, and that was spectacular. So good things are coming soon. Remember we reported last week, right here, Chautauqua Sunrise, skunks were out. Red buds were budding out on the bushes. So it's coming. My fish were swimming around, at least they were a couple days ago. Now I don't know what they're doing. They're hibernating down at the bottom of the pond again. But anyways, it's coming quick. Okay, a few things I want to share with you before we get into our announcements. Okay, I got to get myself all organized here. All right, we are going to give away the last of the tickets I have here. And this is for a pancake breakfast, and I'll be talking about it again. It's going to be held next Saturday at Brockton High School, and these are free. I'm sponsoring this, as our Rotary Club is doing this, and I have 6 tickets left, and if you call 753-5225, You give them your name and phone number. I will write your name and phone number on the back of this ticket. You show up at Brockton between 8 and 11 at the school. It's at the cafeteria, and it's on me. Breakfast will be on me next week. So give us a call. If you want, call us. All right. This past week, I had a singular, wonderful experience. It's not very often, I've done this once before now, but it's not very often that you meet a Grammy Award-winning musician. The first one I met was Kent Knappenberger, who was the Grammy Award-winning Music Teacher of the Year, first one ever. And the other night, and I've been talking about this forever, I think, here on the show, but I got to meet Tom Paxton. There we are. What a wonderful, kind, gentle soul. 80 years old, still out there singing, harmonizing, playing the guitar, telling stories about his life. And I had the opportunity to tell him a story. You know, usually it's the other way around. And I said, Tom, I got a story for you. And he was right with me the whole time. He was just like smiling and listening. And I was telling the story about this past December. Dennis Drew invited me and Will to play for the Home for the Holidays 2. And we're doing The Marvelous Toy. The Marvelous Toy was written by Tom Paxton. And I said, Tom, this was so funny. When we got to the chorus part where we go zip, bop, and brrr, that's the sound effects in the song. When it came to the bop, I told the audience to ad-lib. And all of a sudden I hear this all across the room in the great big Regulanet. And I couldn't figure out what it was. So then the next chorus comes around, and there's even more. And then more by the time we get to the end of the song. So Tom's listening, and he's smiling, and he's laughing with me. And I said, do you know what was going on? And he said, no, what? And I said, some kid from one of the choirs had taken a water bottle, put his thumb in there, was popping it, and it was spreading all over the room. And he just thought that was the greatest thing. So I got to share a story, musician to musician, just a local guy with a Grammy Award-winning songwriter and musician, Tom Paxton. What a thrill. And so, Ken Hartley, if you're listening, thanks so much for putting your Rolling Hills radio program together over at Chautauqua. Great venue, good time, and just really swell. And the Don Juans was his accompanying group, and they were super. And they're Grammy Award-winning songwriters as well. And one of the guys is married to Kathy Mattea. It's like, I learned all this cool stuff. These guys were like top row musicians. This wasn't just, any old body. So it was cool. All right. So I mentioned WRFA. I want to say good afternoon to all our listeners. Tuesdays at 1 o'clock because we're happy that you're joining us and having a listen. And unfortunately, you can't call in to get the free tickets for the pancake breakfast, but nonetheless, we're glad you're joining us and hope you're having a great day. All right. I got a note from my buddy Joe Glarner down in Warren, Pennsylvania. And Joe was on here not too long ago, and he was talking about a movie that he had helped produce. It was called, and if you remember, The Children of Abraham. All right? And he wanted me to know, he says, hey, Doc, this Saturday night, tonight, at the Library Theater in Warren, The Children of Abraham is making its North American premiere. And he just wanted us to know, and they're going to be showing it, I think it's at 7 o'clock. Anyways, for those of you in the listening area, down near that area, if you want to take in a great show, a movie that they produced, I saw excerpts of it, and it's really profound. It's very interesting. It's not real heavy-duty religion or anything like that, but the whole thing is it's talking about the connections of the connections of the children of Abraham and how they went into different religions in different parts of the world and stuff like that, and how we're all related one way or the other through our religious backgrounds, philosophies, and thought process. Okay, then I got a note from my buddy Bill Tornstrom, and he wanted me to let you know that they're having their annual maple sugar party at the Maple United Methodist Church, and this is a week from this Sunday, a week from tomorrow, and it's free. You get to go and try some maple syrup things, and it starts 3 p.m. till the maple sugar is gone, and Bill Ward will be playing some music for you. So that's coming up at the Mayville United Methodist Church next Sunday. Okay, let's see, what else have I got here? I want to say hi to everybody at LSS. Will and I just played over there this week, and we had a great time, and we're going to be returning in March. We're going to do some Irish music for them towards the end of the month. And so anyways, always good to see you, and we'll hopefully talk to you again. Hang on a second, I don't know what's going on here. My phone's doing weird things. Okay, we get to some community announcements, and as always, if you have an announcement, something you want to share with the rest of the Chautauqua County in the area, you can Twitter us, you can email us, you can go to our Facebook, you can give us a call here at 753-5225. Sometimes people actually mail things right to the studio, and we're happy to get your announcements on the air. So let's start right off with our friends down at Infinity in Jamestown. Here we go. Join Infinity Visual and Performing Arts for the 4th Annual Art Market and Auction. This vendor show and fundraising event will be held at the Infinity Arts Cafe on Saturday, March 10th. From 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. The art market will feature work for sale from the eclectic variety of talented local artists in an art auction featuring ceramic, art, and pottery from the private collection of the late Douglas Hay, as well as handmade carving by Vince Luizo, and an array of fun, family, and arts-based activities. Tickets are $5 and will be available at the door on the day of the event. Children 18 under will be admitted free of charge. Okay, so that's coming up next Saturday. And if you want more information, give them a call at 664-0991. All right, Northern Chautauqua Community Foundation is seeking volunteers for their Applebee's Flapjack fundraiser. Pancakes are flying around this month. This is going to be held on March 24th from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Volunteer hours are from 7:40 a.m. to 10 a.m. So if there's any students, I always like to mention this. If students are interested, they need to get some community volunteer time in as part of their coursework, give them a call over there. Breakfast tickets are $6, no charge for volunteers. There's basket raffle tickets are available. There's 25 for $10, so there's a big fundraiser. The fundraiser is vital as it benefits the service learning program that offers mini grants to teachers in local school districts for projects that integrate meaningful community service with learning. In addition to the breakfast, there will be a breakfast basket raffle, as I mentioned, and Be a Philanthropist contest. For more information, give them a call at 366-4892, March 24th at Applebee's. All right. Now, this is a long one, but it's going to take place today. This is our friends over at Community Helping Hands. This is an 80s rewind party and cash raffle. Wow, look at that poster. That looks very 80s. Pac-Man and Pac-Woman there. I don't know what this is. No, I guess it's just Pac-Man. Okay, hold on to your perms and grab your leg warmers. Community Helping Hands is excited to host an 80s rewind party and cash raffle at the Chautauqua Suites, just down the road from here. Today from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. Preparations are well underway for this first annual signature fundraising event benefiting Community Helping Hands in Jamestown. It's a not-for-profit organization providing emergency assistance to local families in need and a youth family center offering a variety of activities since 2001. Proceeds will help Community Helping Hands provide a hand up to our community when they need it the most. Okay, there's going to be a disc jockey there, and there's going to be cash prizes for the costuming, and there's a photo booth. I'm just kind of skimming through your basket raffle, a VIP lounge area. Let's see. Hang on a second. I got to see more information here. Event sponsors so far are Chautauqua Suites Meeting Expo Center, Star Search Productions, Lynn Development Group, Aces Up Construction, Jamestown Jackals, and Fresh Press Studios. And I'm just trying to see if I can find anything. Oh, here we go. Tickets for the event may be purchased at chhny.org, or you can go to Trinity Guitars, Labyrinth Press Company, Community Helping Hands, or Scott Mikas at the Events by Scott. Okay, and I'm looking for the price on this. I don't know if it says that on the, oh, there it is. $50 our ticket, but they're giving away some really cool prizes, and it's saying that there's a complimentary buffet dinner as well. So it sounds like a great night. For more information, 487-1488. All right, we're going to go to my hometown art show today. I'm going to get over there sometime from 5 to 8 at the Ripley Public Library. 64 West Main Street. The show runs through March 17th, so it starts today. View and buy local art, enjoy beverages and dishes, Music 5:30 to 7:30 by Cheryl Rich and Kathy Peterson. And this is being sponsored by the Friends of the Library and assisted by Meter's Restaurant. So that should be a lot of fun. And if you haven't been to that library, it's such a cool library. It's a renovated little church, and it's got really a good feel to it. So this is a major fundraiser for them, so check it out. Chris Burt wants you to know that poll workers are needed here at the county. And if you're interested in serving as a poll worker, they pay you. They pay you by the hour. It's either a half-day or all-day job. And it's not every day, but it's just a one-day thing. But they do need you at various times, like in March and November and so forth, the primaries and so forth. So if you want to pick up some extra money, give them a call at 753-4580. All right. Active parenting. We're going to take you to Jamestown now. And we're proud to bring the acclaimed active parenting program directly to you. And this is the CASIC, the Chautauqua Alcohol and Substance Abuse Council. This program will give you skills to achieve a fuller, more satisfying family life and help your children achieve greater happiness and success. Where was this when I was raising my kids? This workshop will show you effective ways to use nonviolent discipline that really works. Open lines of communication before they get clogged. Teach responsibility, courage, and other important character traits. Encourage school success in 7 steps. Prevent future problems with drugs, alcohol, and sex. Diffuse power struggles with your children. Stimulate independence as your child grows older. Stop scolding and start smiling with your kids again. It's a 6 2-hour session parenting class, and it's being held March 7, 14, 21, 29, April 4, and 18. Classes run from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. For more information, give them a call at 664-3608, and it's free of charge. Can't beat that. All right, moving along. Okay, this is what I mentioned earlier. Pancakes Against Polio. My Rotary Club, the Westfield Mayville Rotary Club, is doing one more final big push. They've been raising a lot of money for this, and we'll be talking about this again, but I'm not going to tell you the amount, but it's in the thousands that they've raised. It's part of an initiative they have. And this is going to be held Saturday, a week from today, March 10th, from 8 to 11 at Brockton Central School Cafeteria over there in Brockton. The menu, pancakes, all you can eat, Justin, sausage, applesauce, coffee, tea, or juice. Okay? Advance tickets are $7 each. Children 6 to 12 are 5. Ages 5 are free. At the door, it's another $1 for adults, and then the same all the way through. For more information, give them a call at 397-8801 or any Westfield Mayville Rotary Club member like myself. And you can get a free one today. I've got 6 of them, so call if you want them. 753-5225. Okay, my buddies over in Jamestown, over at STEM Wars, one of the premier STEM events. And we'll tell you what STEM is here. Science, technology, engineering, and math. Okay, that's what STEM stands for. It's going to be held March 14th at Jamestown Community College. STEM Wars will take place once again this year at the JCC Physical Education Complex at the JCC Jamestown campus. Let's see here. STEM stands for the core skills sets for careers of the future. Hundreds of students from around the region will participate in a fun and educational event featuring STEM activities, competitions, a local business and manufacturing career fair, and on-site team building, leadership skills, and projects. Okay, if you're interested, give them a call at Dream It, Do It at 484-1101. Dream It, Do It, 484-1101 if you want more information. Okay, CASIC is busy. They've got another project going on. I mentioned this a little bit. We'll just give you the quick on this. They have a poster contest for kids in school. It's called Be a Thinker, Not a Drinker, and it's their 17th annual poster contest. It's for grades 3 through 12, and you submit it to them by, where did I see it? Sometime in March. By March 16th. That's why I have to circle these things ahead of time so my eye goes right to it. All right, there are prizes of, grand prize of $100, second prize $50, and then $25, and so forth. Oh, wait a minute. $100 cash prize. Then there's other prizes. $50 for first place, $25 for second place, $20 for third place in each category. So there's categories. You got your little kids, grades 3 through 5, then from 6 to 8, and then 9 through 12. So there's like a whole bunch of prizes that you can get involved with here. Then following the award ceremony, the posters will be displayed at the Prendergast Library in Darwin Barker Library in Fredonia. Very cool. So if you're interested, contact Kasich, and again, the phone number is 664-3608. Okay, we're almost done. Safe Talk, suicide alertness for everyone. All right, Kasich again. These guys are putting out a lot of good stuff for people to be involved with here. If this is of interest to you, now listen up. Brought to you and offered at no charge by the Chautauqua County Department of Mental Health and Chautauqua Tapestry and the Community Alliance for Suicide Prevention and Kasich. Safe Talk, which stands for Suicide Alertness for Everyone, is a 3-hour training that prepares anyone over the age of 15 years of age to identify persons with thoughts of suicide and connect them to suicide first aid resources. Most people with thoughts of suicide invite help to stay safe. Alert helpers know how to use these opportunities to support that desire for safety. As a Safe Talk trained suicide alert helper, you will be better able to move beyond common tendencies to miss, dismiss, or avoid suicide. Identify people who have thoughts of suicide and apply the TALK steps, which means tell, ask, listen, and keep safe, to connect a person with suicide thoughts to suicide first aid, intervention, caregivers, and so forth. If you're interested, give them a call once again at 664-3661 and ask for Kathleen Colby. Registration is deadline by March 16th. All right, you might be listening to me right now. Folks, this is still a big deal, suicide in our country. When you look at the statistics, more people die from suicide than a lot of things that you wouldn't think. So this is a big deal. So if you're interested, some people that this is their field of interest, or you might be interested, check it out. My buddies over at St. Susan, Jeff Smith, their 15th annual basket fair. All right, it's going to be held March 17th, St. Patty's Day, from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. They're going to have their drawings at 2 p.m. It's going to be a wild day. They got all kinds of baskets there. I saw some of them last year. Just had this room that's just full of baskets. So I try to read this every week. I'll try to do it right this time. $10 for 12 basket tickets and 2-door prize tickets, or $20 for 30 basket tickets and 4-door prize tickets. Grand prize tickets are $10 each, or 3 for $25. There's going to be food and beverage at the Comfort Cafe, and DJ by prime time will be supplying music. For more information, give a call at 664-2253 St. Susan Center. And last but not least, Stacey Fox was on here not long ago from Compeer, and they are going to have Canvas for Compeer, a painting class, at the Gary Rodeo Dining Hall on March 24th at 2 p.m. Tickets are $30 for your materials, a goodie bag, coffee, cocoa, water, and a snack bar. If you're interested, give them a call by March 20th. No, that can't be right. Well, anyways, I'm assuming March 17th. It says March 27th. They will be after the fact. By March 17th, 487-2956. Canvas for Compeer. Okay, that's all I got. I'm going to be quiet. We're going to take a break, and we're going to get to my guest who's been patiently waiting. We'll be right back.
I am a veteran. My victory was finding the strength to be a champion.
My victory is having a job I can be proud of.
At DAV, we help veterans get the benefits they've earned.
My victory was finishing my education.
My victory was getting help to put our lives back together.
DAV provides veterans with a lifetime of support.
My victory is being there for my family.
Help us support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
Okay, we're back. I'm still Doc Hamels. You're watching Chautauqua Sunrise. This gentleman was on my show a number of times, and I want to introduce him as the most interesting man in Chautauqua County, and that hasn't changed. I might be the second or third, but I think you're still the first. Mike Ferguson, welcome back to the show.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You never cease to amaze me of where you are and what you're doing next. I mean, you and I talk from time to time, and it's like, what are you doing now? Wow. But you're still at Fredonia Place, right?
Still at Fredonia Place, that's right, and still working with my friend Danny Delper with the Bemis Bay Pops, and we'll have some news coming along with that shortly, so lots of good things happening. And of course, we have over 100 and some members in a Northern Chautauqua pickleball club now, too. So
Pickleball is, I hear that's taking off. I guess I'll have to get involved with pickleball.
we play right at Brockton, right up the street, so you got to come
right up
see
the
us.
street, all right.
It'll be fun.
So, Mike, maybe not everybody knows what Fredonia Place is. They may not know where it is. I would suspect they're guessing it. But Fredonia Place, in your words, is what?
Fredonia Place is a fantastic assisted living and memory care campus. And it is not a nursing home. It is not that type of facility. What it is we have many people, especially on the assisted living side, that if they need the assistance, be it medical, physical, or otherwise, we're there for them. Otherwise, it's a great apartment complex. And what I mean by that is there are actually four different size apartments on campus. You can come and go as you please. There's no hours of restriction. We do lock our doors during the summer at 9:30 at night and during the winter at 7 o'clock. But you have access in and out. And there's no limitation as to visiting hours, anything like that. So we have just been awarded another level of licensing, which sounds a little strange. We're about ready to celebrate our 15th anniversary, which we'll talk about in just a little bit. And we have been an assisted living facility for those 15 years. We're accredited with assisted living residence, which allows us to do a few more things medically that we were not able to do before.
So a little higher level?
Higher level, things like changing colostomy bags, things like that we weren't able to do. Obviously, all of these facilities are dictated by the Department of Health as to what you can and can't do within licensing. So that helps us out quite a bit. Not that we've necessarily needed the help. We've been ahead of the industry average for about 4 years now. What I mean by that is on occupancy, we float somewhere between, 4 years ago we were around 82-85%. Right now our occupancy rating has been floating between 95 and 100%.
95 and 100%?
Yeah.
That's like one person.
Right.
So I don't know how many.
They're kind of in and out every now and then.
Wow.
You know,
so how many folks live there?
We have 72 people on the campus altogether, 26 of which are on our memory care facility, which is a separate building, which is attached.
26, you said?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And we're very fortunate to be in a great part of Chautauqua County, right up on Howard Street in Fredonia, so we're not very far from the former ConAgra processing plant. And we're just a couple blocks away from the village. So we're within the village, but downtown, of course.
Mike, Fredonia Place has been an underwriter of my show from day one, and I'm just so pleased that we've had this working relationship with you guys. And I want folks to know now, this is not a promotion for Fredonia Place.
Right.
This is a dialogue that we have had for the last 4 years about senior issues, about senior housing, and it just so happens we're talking about Fredonia Place and what it has to offer. But there's other facilities in the county as well.
There are lots, and we're blessed actually that we've got great facilities throughout Chautauqua County. One of the reasons being is that we are an aging community, just like everybody else, but even more so here in Chautauqua County. So that being the case, you certainly have a wide selection to choose from, and different ones offer different services. You know,
So-
Chautauqua Rehab has theirs.
Let's talk about process, okay?
Yes.
As you know, my dad passed away last year at the ripe age of 94. There was no way I could get that man to think about anything other than that was his house. He was going to take care of his washing, his cooking, his shopping, and everything else. And in the last year, his quality of life was not terrific.
Sure.
Wasn't terrible.
Sure.
But he was really slowing down, and I respected my dad. I gave him as much support as I could, as well as my brother. But there were times I just thought, it doesn't have to be this hard. But it was a strong desire to continue that. And I respect that. And I probably will be the same way, unless my wife talks me out of it. But what do you say to families when they're in that kind of a situation where you don't want to say, you're going to this wonderful place called whatever, and you're not going to live in your home anymore because you're too whatever old. Or, I mean, how do you approach this?
It's very difficult, and part of it is a pride issue. We've worked very, very hard for everything that we've gained over the years, and it's putting it in perspective. What's important, and what's important is your quality of life. And I think people feel that by going to any type of facility, they're losing their freedom. They're losing their ability to do.
Where does that come from?
Doing.
Because I have been in and out of a number of these agencies, I'll call them.
Yes.
And that's not the way the world is. But why do they think that?
I think it's back to many of the people who are coming into this age are the Depression era folks.
Definitely.
Maybe the early stages of baby boomers. But the bottom line is...
Careful.
Yeah, I know, we're not too far away. But the bottom line is they've worked hard for the things that they didn't have.
Yeah.
And they feel that that's being taken away from them.
Yeah.
They also remember the days when nursing homes weren't necessarily the nicest place to be.
It was a dead end. It was like the dump.
Maybe there weren't private rooms. You were sharing the rooms with 2 or 3 other people.
So yours are private?
Yes, all of our facilities are private, including memory care.
Okay.
And I think that that's changed. And I think it's changed because we realize that our population has changed. We've been adding things like, and most facilities do, Wi-Fi, high-speed internet connectivity, that type of thing.
Are they watching the show today?
I hope they are.
Oh,
if they are,
let's say good morning.
How you doing? But let's face it, you and I are using iPads,
all the
and
time,
iPhones,
all the time.
Those types of things. So technology is going to be important in the future because we're still going to want to keep in touch. Thank God for Skype, so I can keep in touch with my granddaughter in South Carolina and in Buffalo. And it really does bring that world closer together. So it's a different day. You're not being tied down to a bed. You're not being put in a wheelchair in the corner. It really is a quality of life issue. We approach it, as do many, as almost a cruise line attitude.
Yeah, someone said to me this was like a cruise ship that never left port.
Exactly.
I think that's what somebody told me.
Yeah.
And that was at Fredonia Place when I was there.
And it really is meant to be that way. I took Disney hospitality and customer service training when I was with Rich Baseball Operations. And we teach that to our staff each and every day. The culture of the company is very, very important. And you're not moving into our business. We are working in your home. And I think that's a mentality that folks have really come to appreciate. How do you make that transition? I think they have to experience any facility to see what the facility is like. And they say, okay, this isn't what I thought it was, or it wasn't what my father was in 50 years ago, or whatever the situation is. And it makes it a little bit easier because you're also bringing your own stuff.
Oh.
George Carlin always used to have, I'm sure you remember, the stuff.
The stuff.
We all gather our stuff, and we're worried about losing our stuff. And so you can bring your stuff with you to Fredonia.
I don't think there's a room big enough for my stuff right
there
now.
You go. And my wife will tell you there isn't for mine. But and that's just it. This is almost condo-style living, at least on the assisted living side. And many facilities are like that. So it really is addressing their fears and calming their fears and letting them know family's not going away. In fact, it may be even more convenient to visit mom or dad at another facility. And really calming the fears that you're going to be free of things like having to pay for your home and snow blowing and taking care of. And many people enjoy those things. Trust me, we'll find a way to help you to continue to garden and those types of things. But that's really the way to address it, is to calm those fears and actually ask mom and dad, what is it? What is it that would hold you back from making this decision? Well, I don't want to give up my stuff. Okay,
Gardening.
Again, we can add. I don't want to give up my car. You don't have to give up your car. We don't take people's cars. It is up to the doctor as to whether you can continue to drive or not. And really, that's not always the last. My mother was told that she couldn't drive anymore, and she drove for another year and a half before she finally turned over the keys. So, and I think that's one of the fears, is that the life is going to change dramatically for them. And really, almost to a person, we've heard, Wish we would have done that a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
And I think that there are a lot of facilities in Chautauqua County that can offer that same peace of mind. It's just Fredonia Place is one of them.
Let me just, again, process. If someone is thinking about downsizing, moving out of their home, it's getting too much, can you just kind of walk us through the different levels of care that are available in Chautauqua County as you know it? Okay.
Sure.
So, like, what would be the least restrictive or the least complicated kind of a situation that are out there?
Independent living.
Okay. So, like an apartment type thing.
Basically, an apartment. You can call the front desk, or you can call. I know in Gary you have to call the other building. They're there right away, etc. For anything that you may need. And it's basically, in some places they have their own homes. In other independent living. Assisted living, at least for us and for others, is very close to that.
Okay.
The only difference is you're in a more of an apartment type of situation.
You're like in a hotel almost, right?
Yeah, and there are a few more medical. With independent living, there's really no medical assistance.
Yeah, you're on your own.
You're on your own, but if you need it, there's folks there that can help you.
Okay.
With us, we are staffed 24 hours a day, so that some folks are wheelchair bound in so much that they can get from the bed to the wheelchair or the electric scooter, that type of thing. The bulk of our community is probably either free walking or in a walker.
Right.
We do have a couple electric scooters. We do have that. So then the next one from assisted living would be skilled nursing.
Okay. What does that mean?
Skilled nursing would be you're probably a little bit more bedridden. You probably need, you may be undergoing things like chemotherapy long term. You may not be able to walk. So the nursing level is much higher.
Yeah, I have a
than what we
question.
can give you.
Can any of these levels be something temporary? So something like maybe you need to have some R&R or some respite for, like, I don't know, 2 months or something like that. Is like that?
Yes, and that's a lot of like a rehab situation,
Okay.
rehabilitation. Most facilities will offer rehab or respite.
Okay.
We offer respite based on availability of rooms.
So-
Unfortunately, we haven't been able to do
And
that much of
95%
that.
occupancy,
Yeah, but we're also fortunate there's some great rehab facilities here in Chautauqua County where that respite is part of it. With insurance, of course, some insurances are 21 days, some are 30 days, and then it doesn't matter how far along you are in the program. You may have to move on to either a skilled nursing facility or another respite facility. So those are really the top and basic.
Okay.
If you do you're allowed to have, for our organization, you're allowed to have visiting nurses come in.
Oh.
You are allowed to have rehab folks come in.
Physical therapists.
Physical therapists come in.
Nice.
We do take care of your medication management for you, which means we will distribute it to you, we will reorder for you, we submit to your insurance company, which most facilities do. So it's really up to you as to what you want to do whenever you enter, and this is something everybody has to remember. Wherever you go, the state requires you to either do what's called a 3123 or a 3133 form. And what that is you have to see your primary care physician within 30 days of moving in, and that physician will say, we believe he or she would benefit from assisted living or memory care or long-term care, whatever it is, or skilled nursing. With that, you also now have got to get a TB test again, believe it or not. We haven't heard that in a long time, but there's two different ways of doing that. Either the traditional shot, you come back 2 days later for your results.
Just check to see there was a
check the
reaction.
results, or you can get a chest x-ray, which will tell you almost immediately.
Right.
So it's up to the doctor or the facility as to which one they can do. And that's really it. It's best to sit down and, you and I discuss this quite a bit. It's always, no matter where you're going, no matter what you're doing, even if you're planning on staying home, sit down with your family. If you don't have family, sit down with friends. Sit down with people that you can trust. And see where you want to be in 4 years. See where you want to be in 3 years, 2 years. 10 years. It's sort of odd. When you and I were growing up, it was, where do you want to be in 10 years, 20 years?
Right.
And now you're sitting back saying, where do you want to be 5, 4, 3, 2 years, depending on whether you're in the fourth quarter.
I want to be breathing here.
Exactly. So it's very, very important that you do that, because that will also help you determine what you want to do. Do you have the ability to stay home? Even if you have the ability to stay home, do you want more free time? You know, we have one lady who goes to Italy every year, and she goes for a month, and she comes back. She's right there.
She's right there.
Her place is ready to go.
Perfect.
And we have others who rarely leave the facility, but they're able to do so whenever they want.
And there's a lot going on. There's activities and things like that.
7 days a week.
Yeah. I know Shannon does a good job over there. I think Chris asked me a question in my earpiece. And Chris, if I didn't get it right, let me know. But the question was, the people that are in Fredonia Place or other places, they're not giving up their right to vote or be part of the
No.
government.
In fact, Fredonia Place at one point was a polling place.
Was it really?
Yeah, and
cool.
you know, who knows? Maybe we'll do that again. I
yes.
hope we'd be under consideration. But Fredonia Place was a polling place. We take folks. We have a bus, and we took them out for the last election.
Excellent.
So at least I know I had a few votes.
At least you hope.
Yeah, I hope. Yeah, you never know. You never know. I mean, plenty of $5 bills went out the door. But no, so we take them to to their polling place. So that doesn't end.
Okay, great.
One thing I will,
Yeah, go
speaking
ahead.
of that, by the
Sure.
way, if you ever do move, make sure that you let the Board of Elections know what your new address is, because that sometimes can be a sticky wicket when, let's just say, perhaps you lived here
Yeah.
in the Chautauqua area and you moved to Fredonia and you go to vote and you're still registered in the
Not gonna
Chautauqua area. Many times they can address that right there at the polling site, but it's always good to know that ahead
Yeah,
of time.
good to know. Mike, one of the things that always comes up, I mean, it's got to, is the money. How does it work? How is it expensive? How does it work? Who pays for it all? I mean, obviously, you just don't live there for free. But I mean, how do you work? Is it through insurance? Is it Medicare, Medicaid?
A little bit of everything. I always tell people, especially if you're in your 30s, 40s. I think with some companies you can't even apply until your 50s. But long-term care insurance, depending on the company. Because then you really don't have to worry about it. You pay into it just like regular insurance. And I'm not a shill for any particular company, but I've seen it's helped some folks be able to afford to be there. Each facility, I mean, you can go the gamut throughout Western New York. There are some that say, gee, you put up $250,000 before you move in. And it's we just did a recent study on some the facilities in Western New York. Some can be up to $13,000, $14,000 a month.
$13,000 a month?
Yeah. The area around here, a little bit. We started about $3,650. Our highest goes about a little over $5,000, and that's more the high level of memory care.
Sure.
And most of the facilities in our area are in that same price range.
Okay.
So it depends on what you're looking for. The ones we're talking about, have the theater kitchens and multiple restaurants
Just
and all these other things in there.
Oh, Lord.
So it depends on what you're looking for and what you can afford. There are also VA benefits,
Okay.
which are very, very important to get in touch. Always keep in touch with your local VA office, because
Yeah, the guys have been on here, Greg and the guys.
they're fantastic,
Yeah.
and they will help you. And if you can't find your discharge papers, that type of thing, they will help you. Office of the Aging is great.
And speaking of,
Let me guess, you got a phone call?
we have a phone call. Good morning, Linda. I didn't prompt him. That had nothing to do with that.
Well, good morning. How are you? Happy snowy Saturday.
Oh my gosh, same to you. Keep it, please.
I want to mention how beautiful, what a wonderful facility Fredonia Place is.
It is really pretty.
That is like a cruise ship that never leaves.
Yeah.
I'd like to stay there on weekends.
There you go.
I've played there a number of times. It's a wonderful facility.
Oh, it is like going at, when you walk in there, you think you're on a vacation.
Love boat.
Just don't call me Captain Steuben.
Gopher.
That's even worse. I'll go with Captain Steuben.
So how's Linda?
I have wonderful people that could work at Fredonia Place as my senior employment program.
There you go. We're always looking for that. So, I would suggest to give Jackie a call. at HR or even Shannon. And our number is 672-2250. And we'd love to talk to you, Linda, about that opportunity.
Oh, thank you. Well, I would love to talk to you, too. And I know it would be a marvelous environment to work in. And I think that would be, the best of both worlds. So,
without a doubt. And, you brought up a very good point, because it's always a sensitive issue, because I've had several friends at various levels of employment, some at the highest levels of their corporate ladder, and some, the hourly workers, who it's almost a bit of ageism, where you've reached a certain level, and because of that income, and what people fail to realize is there is value to senior employment because we've been working our entire lives. And you have to look at that as, while everybody would love to bring in a younger workforce, and you encourage that so that we can keep young people in our community, please value the knowledge and the skills that senior workers can bring to you, and to help train that future workforce so that when they decide to retire, that doesn't interrupt your business whatsoever. There's a value to having those years of experience under your belt.
Well, I think I'll leave for now. You two take over.
well, I do have to emphasize that the senior workers do have excellent customer service skills.
Yes.
Right.
They know how to treat people.
Hey, Linda, you've got some openings still?
Oh, yes. I'm always looking for people. Yes.
Okay.
Once again, we do have our senior employment program, our computer training at the Brockton Hira Library and the Westfield Patterson Library.
Mm-hmm.
There are other services with the Chautauqua County Office for the Aging, and the number is 753-4471.
All right. All right, do anything special for this weekend besides digging out?
Well, I am exhausted from digging out, but I did get help.
All right.
And thank goodness I did, because I think I'd still be out there shoveling.
That
if I
snow had to
didn't.
be up to your nose, Linda.
Oh, it was high. It really was
Linda's
high.
this tall.
And it was heavy.
Oh,
It was so
yes.
heavy. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
And the snow was still on the ground. I've taken pictures. But it was that heavy snow because it was so warm when the snow came.
For sure.
A lot of tree damage in
Yes.
Fredonia, especially Temple Street. A lot of tree damage.
Yeah, I heard that. That's unfortunate.
Okay. Okay, Lynn, as always, thanks for calling.
All right. Have a wonderful weekend.
All right,
Thank
you too.
you.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now. Okay, folks, last call. Last reminder that I still have tickets here. I don't think I've got any calls in yet. That we're giving away 6 pancake breakfasts March 10th over at the Brockton Central School Cafeteria. It's all paid. These are free. The show is sponsoring them for the Westfield Mayville Rotary Club Pancakes Against Polio program. Mike, let's change gears a little bit.
Sure.
Okay, we were going to talk a little bit about it. Everybody knows you ran for county executive, and the outcome wasn't what you thought it was going to be. I've been there. But I found whenever I ran and maybe didn't get elected, which has happened, I learned a lot.
Sure.
I learned about myself. I learned about my community. What'd you learn in that whole thing?
Well, it's something I've always said for years. You can't complain if you're not going to be part of the solution.
Right.
And overall, voter turnout was a little bit higher than what was originally expected, which is encouraging.
Yeah.
But certainly when you look at the numbers, not as high as it could have been. So neither here nor there. The first person we called, of course, was George, to congratulate him.
Absolutely.
We wish him very, very good luck.
Well, as we always say,
some
we
good
want the
things.
person elected to be
We
successful.
want the person to be great.
We don't
That's
want
right.
them to go
That's
down
right.
in flames.
And I think that there's good things ahead for Chautauqua County through him. I was very pleased to see some of the folks that he's brought on, some of which we had talked about.
Well, we talked about Mark
administration
Geis
as well.
and Don
Yeah,
McCord.
so good folks, and that's something people always have to understand. No matter the party, if you are an elected official, once your job is very, very hard. 2, it's very underappreciated, and 3, nobody gets into that business to do negative things. They always go in to do what's best for the community.
Right.
In their plans. So we congratulate George and wish him very, very well. He's still a friend, a good friend.
Good.
And we keep in touch. So what did I see? Some amazing people particularly door to door. And what I mean by that is, while we talk about the number of people that unfortunately have left Chautauqua County, which is not necessarily a reflection solely on Chautauqua County. If you look at the numbers, the number of people that have left New York State, which has topped 1 million in the last few years, yes, of course, Chautauqua County is in that mix. I was encouraged by the number of people who have moved back.
I've heard that in my area, coming back.
Yeah, really surprised, and pleasantly so. I'm not surprised because Chautauqua County is obviously a great place.
It's gorgeous.
I'm surprised because, you know, you always talk to people who have a negative image during an election campaign. You know, very few, I would say probably 10% of the folks that I went door to door to would say, no, everything's fine, I love it. You know, it's absolutely great. There was always something, we need more jobs, we need this, we need to stop the drugs, we need to, all very well-founded. But just a lot of, and even George said this during the campaign, there was a lot of lack of self-belief and just a little bit of anger there about the directions that they thought, everything from the lake to jobless rate. And, so I was encouraged to see people come back, and they said, because I love Chautauqua County. I absolutely love Chautauqua County. I grew up here, I left for a number of years, I came back. Well, why did you come back? I just love the lifestyle here. Great. That's what we need.
Well,
you know,
and I've talked to people in the same way. I say, what'd you come back for? They said, less crime, the climate is better, they don't have hurricanes, or they don't have drought, they don't have forest fire, you know, all that stuff. They say the schools are better. They say taxes are higher, but they get better bang for their dollar.
Well, not only that, but we're getting people coming back because the companies they were involved in brought them back to Chautauqua, which was nice.
Yeah.
So, so from that standpoint, that's encouraging. The other thing I found, and we knew this, I was on the village, you know, I was on the Visitors Bureau Board of Directors for a number of years, and of course active in the community, are the assets. We have strong assets in Chautauqua.
Like what?
Well, I go back to what we said from the beginning. You know, you look at former Route 18, which is now 76, 90, 65, and 20. Nowhere else in this part of the state do all those roadways come together. When you're looking at the availability of 90 to come all the way from the very tip of New York State and all the way down the East Coast, and the same with 76 to be able to take you into Pennsylvania and all the way to the Big Apple, there are some tremendous opportunities for continued growth there. All along those routes, we need to take advantage of those as much as possible. I think we are seeing one of the disturbing things I'm seeing, but we're seeing it nationwide, and there's got to be a way to stem this tide, is the exodus of retail. The stores.
Yes.
Not so much from locally owned and operate, which I encourage people to
the big name
become entrepreneurs. But look at what we've lost. You know, in our area of Fredonia, Dunkirk, we've lost Peebles, we've lost Pennies.
Sears.
Yeah, Sears. We're also about to lose Petmore, locally owned store. So while the advent of technology is great, and the Amazons and all these other folks, it can be a double-edged sword. But there's always room for the local entrepreneur. You know, in Jamestown, you look at, there's the Crown Roasting there, and Labyrinth, and others, and restaurants, and stores, and brewing company coming in. You know, let's look at one of the greatest success stories of entrepreneurs and entrepreneurial spirit in Chautauqua County, which of course is now the worldwide recognition of Southern Tier Brewing.
I thought that's what you were
without
going
a
to say.
doubt. But also the revitalization of companies like Monofrax, who came from within. It was the employees that picked up the bootstraps and said, okay, we're going to go through a couple of years here. We're not going to close. We're not going to go away. We are going to we're going to change the culture of our company. And they did so, and they did so successfully, with a little bit of help from the government, but for the most part, you know, good things. So I see good things on the horizon. I think both of our lakes, Erie and Chautauqua, and I say both.
I was just going to
Obviously,
say, you
those
better
are
get
the
another one in
biggies.
there.
But we got a whole lot more. You know, we have great lakes in our communities that are ripe for development, that are ripe. We know that one of the things that we are very good at is tourism hospitality.
Absolutely.
And while, as a former president of the Visitors Bureau, I also understand while that can be a big part of our mix economically, it cannot be the only thing that drives us. So therefore, while, and I say this from day one, while the Amazons of the world may be replacing the big box retail, there's room for distribution centers. There's room for those types of things.
We could capitalize on that.
Right. We need to get retail back into downtown Jamestown and downtown Dunkirk, our two cores. We've got, even up the street here, you see some great retail along Mayville.
Right.
And it's locally owned and operated. Look at Webb's, 75 years in Chautauqua County.
Still going.
You know, my buddy Danny Delpra had 35 years with the Italian Fishermen. And he's the entrepreneurial spirit in America is not dead. It is very much alive. It's having the resources, it's having the idea, and it's not easy. It takes a lot of hours out of your life. It takes a lot of hours out of your time. But I think in the long run, it's well worth it, and it can help us bring people back to Chautauqua County. Look at Athenix in Dunkirk.
Oh gosh, yes.
Those are new employees coming in as well as, and they're going to have options. And what I mean by that is, while the headquarters are in Buffalo, and the research and manufacturing in Dunkirk, there's a lot of space between downtown Buffalo and Dunkirk. So we cannot lose these people to the Hamburgs and the Orchard Parks of the world.
Cost of living is much better in Chautauqua County.
Well, I love our buddies up there, but you know, we want those folks to
bring
be
those
here.
dollars here.
And it's great to see some development on the waterfront. That there's new condos there. We have great housing. So it's not all negative. Obviously, you know, we had some folks that say, well, you ran somewhat of a negative campaign. No, in order to move forward, anybody who knows me knows I'm one of the biggest flag wavers of Chautauqua County.
I go with that.
But in order to improve, you've got to address your weaknesses. We know what our strengths are, and we have some tremendous young people coming up. Again, I will wave the flag for the Chautauqua Education Coalition and Justin Haniff and the STEM wars that you're talking about.
Yeah, we've had
because I believe that that's going to be a big contributor to the growth. I believe what I'm seeing with the IDA in the last couple of months is really going to be good things, and so I see good things ahead for Chautauqua County.
Okay, Mike, we got about a minute and a half. You were going to mention some things as Fredonia Place coming up?
Yeah, we do. We have a 15th anniversary, believe it or not, 15 years, and we're going to celebrate June 30th. Okay. So it's open to the public.
Nice.
And we have got over 25 vendors already. If you would like to be a vendor, it's free. It's 672-2250. We're going to have live music and entertainment. We are going to have, it's just going to be a full day of great activities.
Will you send me a reminder on it?
I will send you a reminder.
Right.
It's going to be June 30th. We're also going to be making a very big press announcement that day at 1 o'clock. So we'll tell you about it.
You're not going to
then.
tell us now?
Can't tell you now.
All right.
But let's just say I believe the Fredonia Place banner is going to get bigger.
All right. We'll stay tuned.
Because of the snowstorm yesterday, our employee appreciation party will be next Friday.
Okay.
And we have St. Patty's Party coming up March 17th at noon with some great Irish food that I'm sure you would appreciate. And the very next day is our Easter egg hunt at 2 o'clock, which is open to the public.
Right. Yeah, that's coming up.
Kids of all ages, whether it's residents, families, it is open to the public, and we got some of our staff that brings their kids as well. And Easter Bunny will be there.
All right.
Big surprise.
20 seconds. What's next for Mike Ferguson?
I don't know today.
Come on, you got it.
Well, we're in the process of moving the Bemis Bay Pops. As many of you may know, Dan Delpra has retired and sold the Italian Fishermen, but the Bemis Bay Pops and Dan Delpra will continue.
All right.
So you will see us somewhere along the lake this summer.
Okay. We'll be looking forward to that. Folks, you've been watching Chautauqua Sunrise. My very good friend Mike Ferguson from Fredonia Place and other adventures that are out there in Chautauqua County has been my guest today. Thanks, Mike, as always, for coming by. We got a full month of programming coming up for you here in March, so please come by every Saturday morning, 9 o'clock, and we'll see you next time right here out of Access 5 in Mayville, beautiful, snowy Mayville, New York. And you take care and have a great weekend.